Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Dutch the Creator, and this is Inside the Culture Podcast. And if you're finding my channel for the very first time, please make sure that you tap that like button. I'm gonna wait for you. Just tap it right now, and that helps someone else discover the channel just like you did. Don't be stingy. But today, we are going to be talking about what we talk about every 4 years, people. And why are we keep asking the question of, why are Black people still voting Democrat? Why, people? Why? I'm going to say it one more time. Why are we still having this discussion? Why aren't Black people waking up to what the Democratic Party actually is? If you guys don't know, and like I said, if you're finding my channel for the very first time, you probably don't know. But this channel was called the Black Non-Democrat, and I am still the Black Non-Democrat. People ask me, why are you a Black non-Democrat? You don't vote Democrat? No, I don't. And I want people to know that off break, because I want you to know that I'm not a part of that 96% of us just blindly giving the Democratic Party our vote. They have been placating us for years. They pander to us around this time. They need you for 2 years and a day. And after that, they don't care about you. At one point, Ice Cube posed something to the running for President Joe Biden and basically said, I have a plan, not for minorities, but for Black America. And the way they look at us like rappers. They think we're all rappers. You know what his response was? I got a plan for you guys. It's called the Platinum Plan. And in this Platinum Plan, you're going to get everything that you want. That's bullshit, because you started off with a monolith, thinking that we're all the same. They love platinum. They love bling bling. They've been screaming it for years. But it's another sector of Black people who don't rock like that. You got to look at things when it's headed your way, people. We had the President of the United States, Joe Biden, last couple of days, drop out of the race. That never happened in my lifetime. I'm 40 years old. He dropped out of the race and basically did it reluctantly. Let's come on. Even in his address about it, he basically just said, I want the new generation to have a voice. But he still was a little bit reluctant. People in his own party, Barack Obama, was telling him, look, you can't do this. You're senile, you're old, you're forgetting things. That debate against Donald Trump was horrendous, and it made him look like a fool, and it actually exposed what we've been saying about this man since he tried to run for president. And the thing is, he dropped out. Good for you, Joe, because you listened. You finally listened. Reluctantly, but you listened. But he brings in this lady, Miss Harris. Miss Harris is a con artist. The thing is, look, I get it. If you're a mixed race person, you go to your black side and you're black. You're going to relate to them a little better. You go to your white side, you're probably going to turn into a white boy or a white girl. It's cool. I understand it. But this lady does it maliciously. She does it to pander. She does it to placate. She doesn't do it because she likes that little Indian boy. She doesn't do it because she wants that little black girl to succeed. She does it for her own gain. That's what this lady is all about. We've been hearing about her since day one, since he picked her for his vice president. Now, let's talk about that. The man didn't even like her. He don't like her, but he had to do what people telling him to do. And y'all know what that is. Hey, I just gotta have a black face in there, like he did with the lady on the Supreme Court. The thing is, Martin Luther King said a long time ago, for the youngins out there, and you can go look it up, he said in his famous I Have a Dream speech, he said, I don't want to be judged on the color of my skin, but the content of my character. If you look at the content of this lady's character, she is shit. I'm just going to say it. Her character is weak. Her character lies, and she basically looks at us as a stepping stone to get where she wants to be. This is the same lady that laughed about smoking weed in college and listening to Tupac Shakur in 1986, where Tupac Shakur didn't even have a hit until at least 1991. But she said she was listening to him. But she does it just like Hillary Clinton came on The Breakfast Club with a bottle of hot sauce. Again, these people are the racist. See, the thing about being a racist is you're either going to be overt or covert. And I really fuck with the people who are overt, because at least I know what you are about. And people will say that about the Republican Party. Some will say that about Trump. But at the end of the day, I get to choose, because you're showing your colors, and I don't want to deal with that as a black person. But when you're scheming, when you're covert about what you're doing, that's the snake. That's the snake in the tree in the Bible, in Genesis, where he told her, oh, no, you surely wouldn't die. God lied to you. No, you can eat of this tree. Why not eat of this tree? This tree is great. It's fruitful. And she ate of the tree. She was deceived. You see? It's deceit that the Democratic Party brings us for the last 60 years. See? Lyndon Baines Johnson said a long time ago, I'm going to sign this bill into play, and these N-words are going to be voting Democrat for the next 200 years. And we are not even scratching the surface of that 200 years at this point, people. And we fall for it every year. Again, why are we still having this conversation? We have it every year. We prove every year. We put out videos about Biden being on the Senate floor, calling us predators, letting us know that he has a bill in play where it took your father, my uncle, your brother, your grandfather, and your son, and left these women to raise these children by themselves. That's a detriment to our community. So when you tell me that, hey, she's a black woman that's running for president, you should be happy that we're having that. See, that's not how you dictate who runs the country. You dictate who runs the country based upon the content of their character, people. We're not looking at that. We're looking at aesthetics, and that right there is going to keep us here. So you can vote for this lady all you want. I am not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you to think about who you vote for. Trump. In that debate, after that debate, I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I said to myself, that man just won the presidency right then and there. And then somebody tried to take a shot at good old Trump. They hit, but they hit his ear. And that iconic picture with his fist up. Secret Service right there. Blood drooling from his ear. Just solidified the thing for him. So I ask you guys, do y'all really know what you're voting for? The Democratic Party couldn't even understand not to put that man out there. They kept trying to put this old white man with old white men ideology out to the people like we're stupid. You see? And that's what we get. Now, the next thing in line is Miss Harris. Miss Harris is campaigning around the world. They gave over $100 million in a day. We gave this lady $100 million within a day. I think it was 80 million. But where is that money going? Where is that money going? You coming out your pocket. You're trying to make change. You probably mean well, and you probably listen to certain things that she's saying and are bedazzled, seduced. But at the end of the day, you got to look through the apple, people. What does that mean? Look through the apple. Open the apple. I say this because a lot of people ask me, if you don't vote Democrat, you must be a Republican. No, I'm not going to tell you about the Republicans because you don't trust the Republicans. Why would I tell you to do something when I know you're not going to do it? And I use the apple analogy like this. You love apples. You love apples. Apples are your thing, but you hate strawberries. Strawberries just not your cup of tea. Someone puts a strawberry in your apple. I know it. I seen it. I have knowledge of this. And give you that apple. Close it up. Before you bite that apple, I'm smacking you in the hand. I'm smacking that apple right out of your hand. And you're like, what's up, bruh? Damn, that's a good apple. No. It's something in that apple that I know that you don't like. That's why I'm the black non-Democrat. That's why I want our people to get out of this hypnotic 60-year thing where they're just using you. They use you every 4 years. They do the same tactics. Let's talk to Cardi B. That'll get them on our side. Let's talk to Glorilla. That'll do it. Let's talk to all of the rappers. That'll do it. Let's talk to the Shade Room. They're on the Shade Room all the time. You guys got to start understanding what they're doing. They look at your social medias. They look and see what you are delving your way. I am going to say it right now. Before November, Miss Harris will literally be interviewed by Sexy Red. I am going to say that today. It is July 25th at 9:34 in the morning. Mark my words, Sexy Red will be invited to the White House. Sexy Red is going to have a sit down with Miss Harris, and she is going to act like Sexy Red is the most sophisticated thing she's ever seen. And that right there, you will see firsthand how they do us. They put Cardi B to interview Joe Biden. They put Glorilla to go to the White House. And shout out to Cardi B and Glorilla for doing it. I don't blame them, and I'm not going to blame Sexy Red, because Sexy Red is just being Sexy Red. But we got to understand that that is Sexy Red. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You guys, go down in the comments section. Tell me what you think of this. Are you going to vote for Miss Harris? Or are you going to sit this one out? Or are you going to vote for Trump? Let me know in the comments section. Yes, we got Biden to step down, but we need to get her to step down as well. At the end of the day, stop getting played by the Democratic Party. That's all I got. Some videos just popped up on you guys' screen, and if you want to get more in depth in the channel and watch some more episodes of Inside the Culture podcast, please, like I said, they just popped on your screen. Hit one of those videos and give me a comment. And if you are finding my channel for the very first time, please make sure that you hit that like button. That's all I got, people. Y'all be safe. I will catch you down the road. Peace.